Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 282 for the week of October 18th, 2016. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
Brock Sager.
Bryce Larsen.
Charlie.
No,
What?
Charlie.
What? Who is? Who, what?
Bryce is coming very soon. He'll be here very soon. That
Charlie is not coming.
Oh my God! It's Bryce Larsen. That's a terrible Bryce Larsen. I'm just trying to be very.
Bryce Larsen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be very excited. Bryce will be here very, very shortly.
You don't have the hairstyle to pull it off.
I don't.
Charles won't be here.
Yeah, Charlie. Unfortunately, work took Charlie away from us.
But you got
tonight.
me instead.
You're here, Toby. You're working now. You're working. You're eating your oatmeal. You're good. What is that? You carrying that thing around all day?
Yeah?
That's like you're crazy. Like never goes hot, never gets cold.
Yeah?
That's magic. It's science.
Well, it does go cold eventually, but
Like
it holds
after
it warm
days?
No, like after 20 hours.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
And warm.
Yeah?
Before we get to, we don't have a ton of comic news this week. I do want to talk. We have actually a lot of sales chart stuff to talk about.
I
here.
mean, we need to explain to people what we just talked about here.
What's that? Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I've been yeah, I think it was kind of out of the blue.
it was.
So what Ryan is referring to, I tend to carry my lunch in this little canister that keeps food warm. And I've been doing that almost daily now. I just make my shit in the morning and it keeps it warm. And sometimes I just don't get to eat lunch and I eat it for dinner instead.
Yeah,
so.
it's ridiculous. That thing is still warm. Like I can still see a little steam coming out of the top.
It's freaking sweet. I actually had one of these in high school, but it was like twice the size and it was way bigger and heavier. So over time, technology got better. So now it's just a little tiny canister.
It's magic.
It's dope.
What are you eating?
Potato and leek soup,
Nice.
homemade. Homemade everything, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to TV talk here, not a lot of regular comic news, but some sales chart stuff as well as.
We're not waiting for Bryce for the sales charts?
No, he hits a shit. I can deal with it. As you know, we guys like to do our top 10 comic sales of the month. We're neck deep in DC Rebirth sales here. Toby's already walking away. Brock, why don't you guess?
Yeah.
Give us your top 10 comics for September 2016.
All right, well, All-Star Batman came out.
Yeah, how about this? How about we do this? There's one Marvel and one Image book. Can you guess those ones first? Get those out of the way.
Okay, so the Marvel book Civil War.
Yep, Civil War 2, number 5.
Yeah.
This 4 spotted 120,000 copies.
And then Image book hit the top.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Black Monday?
Toby's really excited for this Barbie comic back here. What?
Barbie in the top 15? 20?
No Barbie. No Barbie. What was that?
Black Monday Murders?
No. That was that September? Oh, I guess that would have been September, huh? Yeah, I don't.
Is it Snot Girl?
It is not.
No.
It is Snot.
Snot
Girl.
Girl. Is it Walking Dead because it's the
Actually-
first story arc?
Saga's way down, too. What's that? Yeah, it's Walking Dead. Of course, it's Walking Dead. 158, because they also have the 2 covers on Walking Dead now.
Oh, yeah.
So Walking Dead 158 at 94,000 copies. That is the spot number 6 out of the top 10. Yes, All-Star Batman number 2, fully returnable, came in at the number 2 spot at 137,000 copies. The number 1 spot, though, was higher than that. DC Comic and not returnable either.
What was it, Batman?
Batman number 6 at 138,000 copies, the number 1 book. Actually, where is Batman? Oh, Batman number 7 is the number 3 book at 135,000 copies. So remember, Batman 6 and 7, they are no longer returnable. These are actual sales.
Yeah.
Batman selling ridiculously high numbers.
Yeah. Did Suicide Squad make it?
Suicide Squad number 9. Yep.
Wait,
Suicide Squad is the number 9 book of the month. Number 2 spotted. Issue number 2 at 89,000 copies.
Oh, what else? Are there some number ones?
Couple number 1s. Yep.
All
yep.
right.
2 number 1s in there.
Was Supergirl one of those?
Supergirl number 1. Yep, that's the number 8 at 90,000 copies.
Okay. How many more do we got?
You got 1 was Batman, 2 was All-Star Batman, 3 was Batman, 4 was Civil War 2, 5. You didn't get 5.
You didn't get 5.
It's a big title for DC. We sell a lot. We just don't sell too many of the variant covers.
It's like Batman.
It's the other book we don't sell too many variant covers for.
What's the other one we got?
Still returnable. There's Bryce.
There's Bryce. I'll get him.
Someone go get the door for him. Come on. Batman's in it.
Justice League.
Justice League, number 4 at 94,000 copies. Bryce, we started without you with your most excited sales chart talk. I know it's your favorite part, lists.
I hate a lot of lists, but these lists I like.
Oh, okay.
I've never disliked your sales charts list.
Oh, I thought you hated
It's when
them.
you list out, boring list, it's the worst. No, sales charts I've liked.
Okay. Well, we'll finish up here, and then I'll tell you all about how many Marvel comics we sold this week, featuring Great Lake Avengers, Mosaic, and Solo.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a
Please tell me,
second.
is it more than... Was it last month? Was it one Marvel title in the top 20 or one Marvel title in the top 10? Last month.
Probably about the same. They have 2 in the top 20. 2,
So no improvement
3,
this
4,
month.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the top 50.
9 in the top 50. How many in
Yeah.
the top 10? 1?
1. Civil War 2. So number 1 is Batman. Number 2 is
Did you say
All-Star
Civil War
Batman.
2?
Yeah, Civil War 2, number 5, yeah. Number 3 is Batman. 4 is Civil War 2. 5 is Justice League. 6 is Walking Dead. 8 is Supergirl. 9 is Suicide Squad. 10 is Justice League as well. Number 5 at 89,000. So number 7 is the only one. It's a number 1 comic.
Trinity.
There it is, Trinity number 1. Fully returnable at 93,000 copies.
Did
so
I just ace that thing?
You did. You did pretty
Nice.
good. Toby didn't want to guess. DC, again, absolutely destroying it. And now half the books are not returnable. September. So that would be... half the books are not returnable at this point. Is that right? Let me look here. Yeah, because all the early stuff is not returnable.
Yeah.
So it should be the first 2 months of books not returnable. 39 of the top 50 spots are DC. Crazy
DC,
numbers.
get it, boys.
Yeah,
Get it,
it's
boys.
nuts.
You only get to reboot once a couple years.
So our numbers are down. I mean, there's a lot of them that are
What?
Aquaman, New Superman, Green Arrow has dropped quite a bit after. I mean, it's still much higher than it was previous.
Batgirl and Batgirl was
Batgirl
you
and Birds
mean
of Prey.
from month 1 to month 3?
Well, we're coming into month 4 now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in not surprising news.
Yeah. So, but they are still like almost. I mean, in every single case, Cyborg, we're selling 20 copies of, but we were selling like 5 copies prior, right? So, I mean, huge increases. We'll see where they are in 10, 12 issues, 18 issues.
Yeah,
but
Cyborg, I don't see that staying at 20, but
yeah.
good.
But yeah, the big ones like Batman is a juggernaut. Batman's still outselling Snyder's run. All the Green Lantern books are miles above where they were when they were canceled. Same with Flash. Justice League is about the same as the John's run, which is really good for us because that was one of our top selling titles. Stuff like Blue Beetle, had it launched.
Wonder Woman selling a lot better.
Wonder Woman's like 3 times higher than where it was when it ended. Yeah.
For doing the New 52, how long did it take the exponential curve to settle?
So industry wide, about 6 months.
Okay.
For us, about a year before because again, we did a lot of real big sales early on in New 52. That first year was pretty incredible for us. But after about issue 13, 14, they started to drift down. But DC's double shipping a lot of these titles, and they're drifting down maybe in fewer months, but it's the same amount of issues,
I see what
right?
you're saying.
Because
Yeah.
Well, no, because the Batman had 2 on there, right?
What's that?
Issue 6 and 7, or
Yeah, 6 and 7. Yeah. So there's 50 titles in here from DC, but there's really, or there's 38 titles. There's
Right.
there's 38, but there's really like, or 39, but there's like 20.
Right,
There's like, or in 21 titles. Yeah, Cyborg number 1 launched at number 37 with 56,000 copies sold. So that's, that is definitely lower than a lot of these. Batman Beyond Rebirth launched at the 27th spot at 67,000.
Did the Green Lantern stuff, did they switch creative teams?
Green Lanterns is a new creative team. That's Sam Humphries. That's one of the guys they pushed
Green
from Marvel.
Lanterns is...
Yeah, but Hal Jordan's the same. But it's really, really good. Same guy.
What?
And it's like John sat him down and was like, look, here's how you write Green Lantern.
Slapped him around.
And they brought in Ethan Van Sciver to do alternating arcs.
Johns just has him on like a Google Hangout that's constantly on, and so he has to bounce the ideas off of him.
It's
all
not
the
a
time.
Google Hangout. It's called Fight Club. Just went and whooped his ass a little bit.
Yeah.
Say, if you don't write like this, we're going back to the hole.
Toby, first rule. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
That's good, though. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Doom Patrol launching it at 76,000 copies. That's the number 19 book for the month. Ridiculously great numbers for Doom Patrol. And someone actually asked about it. We sold a ton of Doom Patrol. We sold like 50 copies of Doom Patrol, which is that's more copies of Doom Patrol than I've sold ever in the store's history combined.
Well, what was the drop off between the Batmans in the top 10? Because number one was
138,000. Number 11, which is Teen Titans Rebirth, is 84,000. So
for
40,000 copies
for Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Rebirth is the number 11 book. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but weren't there 2 Batman titles in the top 10, or just one?
Yes, 6 and 7. Yeah, 138 and then 135,000. So
okay, so that's
some reason it dropped 3,000 copies.
Yeah,
but
3,000 people were like, "I'm done. I'm done, Batman."
No, but you order at the same time, so I don't quite. Well, technically, issue 7
was that the difference in an arc? Did it?
Yeah, 'cause 7 is Monster Man, right?
Yeah, part 1.
And you also would have had 7 adjustable when issue 5 shipped, which is the last returnable issue.
Yeah.
So 6 may have been a little higher, and then 7's maybe a little more accurate to actually
some
sell
people
through.
were like, all right, the first arc is good. I'm good.
Well, no, people might have cut
We
based on that they can't return it anymore.
Right.
They were doing 5.
But that's what I'm saying. 6 was also not returnable.
Yeah.
But 5, you actually have better sell through by the time 7's because of the way it's shipping twice. But we had, we lost some sales with that Monster Man crossover. I don't know if it's just people not into the crossover or not into.
No, there's going to be.
They're just done with the arc. Yeah. But it's still.
Some people are just like, I'll give any book a first arc.
Yeah.
Like you give every book the first issue.
No, because what we're also forgetting
is
it's got those horrible Tim Sale variants.
Well,
so that might be where part of the drop off is.
People just kept
stopped ordering those
variants. It's possible.
At what point do you think Young Animal's getting rebranded to back to DC Vertigo?
No, that'd be awesome.
I mean,
but
only
they'll
if-
do that.
Well,
It feels like the new DC Vertigo.
Oh, it's 100%.
Like the people that coming to buy it are the DC Vertigo people.
It's
Like,
100% Vertigo.
No,
Yeah.
but they need it for like the new generation. They need a new.
It's a hip side thing. So I told you this rumor,
It's
right?
the same customers. It's the same customers that used to buy the Vertigo titles are buying Young Animal now.
Well, I told you this rumor that this was supposed to all be Vertigo, right? The rumor I had heard like 2 years ago or something was that they were going to reboot Vertigo and have it be all these obscure DC characters, superhero stuff, by guys like Gerard Way. And it was going to be just classic Vertigo when it was Doom Patrol and Sandman and Animal Man and Swamp Thing. That same approach back to Vertigo, but they decided to do this Young Animal thing instead. But they're selling great. I mean,
well, that's good.
Shade the Changing Girl, I mean, it didn't sell like hundreds of copies, but it did.
But it does have a feeling of the old Vertigo.
Oh, absolutely,
again.
yeah. Cave Carson as a Cybernetic Eye, #1, comes out this week, and that book is nuts. I'm so excited for that book. DC shipped us a free cassette along with it.
Really?
A Cave
Like the
Carson
old
single
school
by
cassette.
Yeah, by
Nice.
Gerard Way. So
Nice.
those things were selling for like $100 at New York Comic Con.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so good stuff. Other notable stuff. Star Wars number 23, still in that pretty top spot for Marvel. It was the number 15 spot. Not much. Marvel dropped some of their percentage rose a little bit. Image went up. The Independents kind of trickled down. So
What were the percentages? We haven't done the breakdown yet.
let's see, where are we? Let me get to that.
We need
It's here
units
somewhere.
Units and dollar.
Yeah, for Unishare, DC was 43.45% of all comics sold. Marvel was 30.75%. Image was 8.8%, all the way down. DC dollar-wise was 36.53%, with Marvel 31.4%. So even at $1, on average, $1.25 less than Marvel, they're still making 5% more than them. 77 Marvel books in the top 300, 76 for DC, 39 for Image, 25 for IDW, all the way down we go. So yeah, and this month was
and they beat them with the amount of books in the top 300 because DC only had 76 and Marvel had 77.
Yeah, Marvel released 82 books and 77 of them were in the top 300. DC released 76 and all 76 were in the top 300.
Wow.
So, yep. But Marvel does a lot of like weird little like the kids books, and they do like just random
minis that we don't order.
and the movie tie-in stuff that doesn't sell at all. So yeah, I believe September was the first month that actually bucked its trend of record breaking, so it actually did not break August's record, which broke for the most comics, which broke July's record, which broke June's record. But it's still a very, very good month. So if you go back to, we now have 20 years of sales history because of Diamond Comics. So July of 1996. Oof. The number one book was Jim Lee's Fantastic Four, number one, Heroes Reborn, baby.
Heroes Reborn. That was the golden era.
So
that whole era when all comic book fans were just grabbing their head and saying, "What the fuck is happening?"
So, if you look at the top 300, a lot of this comes from Comichron.com. If you look at the top 300 books, there were 32% less sales versus 1996. However, you have digital, you have the trade paperback market. You also have books way past 300 books. There's about 700 books released that month. In 1996, I don't think they have a specific number here, but it wasn't 700. It was like 350, right? So you have a lot of books.
Twice as many-ish books being released?
It's something crazy like that, yeah. I don't have the specific number here, but it's something like 700 issues.
And is that just because it's so much easier to publish books nowadays? I mean, like, whether it's self-publishing or, like, small indie shops just being able to put out their own 2 books, 3 books, 4 books.
Just a lot of comics.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So we are up year to year over last year, which is good stuff. We're up 8%. No, I'm sorry, not 8%, 12%, which is dollar-wise, which is crazy.
12%.
Yeah.
In sales, you're happy to get 12% year over year.
Unit sales were up 21% versus 1 year ago for the month. So yeah, which is just that's big growth. But I'll tell you where those sales are not going to be coming from on the sales chart next month, and that's going to be 3. No, Death of X did okay. That's going to be 3 books called Great Lake Avengers, Mosaic, and Solo, all number ones launched by Marvel this past week.
Dude, I wish that I could have been in this meeting where they were like, "What are we doing this month? What should we relaunch to turn the needle, to move the needle on Marvel books?" Oh, sir, Solo, Great Lakes Avengers, and this guy that literally nobody's heard of named Mosaic. These guys moving the needle. You guys care about money? These guys are going to move the needle.
There must have been alcohol involved.
So this is not.
Doubly sign me up.
Look, I have not read these books yet. They are in my pile to read. I will read generally any number one, right? Unless Gwenpool's involved.
I've read 2.5 of them.
Yeah.
Or Squirrel Girl for me. Fuck you, Squirrel Girl.
So, if any of you guys read Bleeding Cool or you're familiar with Big Bang Comics, they're a comic store in Dublin. They're my friend that runs a shop out there. A couple of my friends.
California, not Dublin, Ireland.
No, it is Dublin, Ireland.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's my friends.
It's the Irish guys that got him drunk.
This is the store.
I
think your mic's off, Toby.
Wait, first of all,
it's the Irish fellas that got Ryan drunk and had him record a podcast like at 2 a.m.
That was
in Ireland.
Even better the second time. That is crazy. How do I not know about this? And how about the fact that we have a Dublin that is like 20 miles away from us?
Yeah.
And of course, your
I went to the one that was 4,000
actual
miles
Dublin,
away.
Ireland.
And the fact that they named their store Big Bang.
You're such an Anglophile, though. I'm not surprised at all.
No, of course.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. So they do these sales charts on Mondays of comics that they sold through the course of the week, comparatively to the previous issues, and just sort of general, like, they have the big thing on Twitter where they're like, "Hey, look, here's what we sold." No, we're not talking quality. We're just simply telling you what sold and how good or bad it was, right? How good or bad the sales for this book
Which
were.
is different than you that just talk shit about Marvel books and shares your sales.
Well, so I mean, they tagged me in all these posts being like, normally we talk about Great Lake Avengers, but we're saving that till later, Ryan Higgins. And they're like, we're going to talk about Mosaic later, Ryan. And I'm like, no, you're killing me. Because I'm like, I need to know that these books just bomb. So on Wednesday, when these books were coming out last week, I went on the retailer forum. And at the end of the day, I said, look, I don't know what to do. Because on Wednesday, new release day, I had sold 2 copies of Great Lake Avengers. Now, I had 2 subscribers as well, so a total of 4 copies.
I was going to say, this is 2 other than me? Like, I'm not one of those 2?
Not counting, like, the hip-hop covers, because those are, like, the hip-hop covers and stuff are, like, special. That's not... People aren't actually buying... I'm talking the base cover of the comic.
Got it. Okay.
And I had sold like one-off variant of like the 1 in 10 cover or whatever to someone, but I'm talking just the base
random is
cover.
that? Okay.
All right. I'd sold 2 copies of Great Lake Avengers plus 2 in the subscription box, so 4 copies.
Okay.
I'd sold 1 copy of Mosaic and 0 copies of Solo. By the time I came back on Monday, I was here Friday, and then I was off Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, I looked at the charts last night.
Yeah.
I had sold 5 copies of Great Lake Avengers, which, that's obviously not great. That's kind of what I expected.
Did that include the subscribers?
Yeah, it includes the subscribers.
So you sold
Right.
1 more copy.
Right, I sold 1 more
I
copy.
had an awesome Saturday.
Yeah, you did. You had a really busy Saturday. We're about half my Squirrel Girl numbers at that point. Squirrel Girl's not a good seller. I just like the book, but it's not a good seller. I only sell like 10 copies of that book. We'll talk about that in a minute too. 2 copies of Mosaic and 0 copies of Solo.
So you doubled your numbers.
You did
on
not
Mosaic.
sell 0 copies of Solo.
Not a single copy.
There's not a single person
Nope.
that wanted. Oh,
I sold 3 copies of the hip hop covers. Oh, sorry, 5 copies of the hip hop covers because
was it to all of those
to-
losers of us?
to you, Larry, Dave, and then the 2 other guys that get them, right?
Yeah.
And those don't really count, right?
Right,
I mean, you're not buying it because of the comic.
I
You're buying it
definitely
'cause of
wouldn't
the
have
cover.
bought Solo number 1. Yeah.
So-
if I wasn't, yeah.
I sold 0 copies of Solo. Now, books like Drax and Carnage, they petered out. By the end, I was getting 1 or 2 for subscribers only, right? But by issue 3, 4, 5, 6, I was still getting 3 or 4 copies for the shelf.
Of Drax and Carnage?
Yeah. But now,
Drax I can understand because of the writer.
no, Drax
Yes.
just died.
But
yeah.
Carnage, why are you still getting 3 copies for the
No,
shelf?
I was.
No, he
And
wasn't.
now I get just I'm sub only on those books, and I think there's still 1 issue of Drax that hasn't shipped. It's like a year late or something stupid, or like 6 months
What?
later.
Drax?
Yeah, there's
No.
like a random issue that hasn't shipped yet. I think there's 1 left. No,
Dude, I'm not going to pretend to be the expert on Drax. I'm just saying that it wasn't that long ago that I read the last issue of Drax.
I mean they did like 5 or 6 issues in like 4 months, and
I mean,
then
it's a Marvel book, not an Image book. You can make jokes about months late, but not fucking a half a year late.
it feels like it's been forever.
Look, I'm not going to defend Drax. I fucking could give a fuck.
Wait, the last couple of issues I've only got like 1 for the 1 subscriber that gets it.
Got it.
Same with Carnage. Like I just don't have customers to buy it. But
dude,
with this, I'm like, I sold 5 copies of Great Lake Avengers, so I cut my orders on number 2 to 5. I sold 2 copies of Mosaic, so I cut my orders on number 2 to 2. I sold 0 copies of Solo, so I cut my order to 0. I don't know what else to do.
Did they respond in any official capacity?
Marvel?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't know.
No.
Is that
Well,
a
how about the
regular
other
thing
retailers?
on your retailer forums?
Oh, right. So on the retailer forum, I had about 15 different retailers replied. It was like 12 to 15 retailers replied between myself, Big Bang, and then these guys here. And Great Lake Avengers sold okay for a few stores. A few stores said, "Yeah, we did okay. We sold a handful."
The ones in Michigan, right?
I don't know. Just sure, maybe. But for the rest of them, they were like zero. I understood that reference. 0 copies of Solo. 1, 2, 3. Mosaic 3, 2, 5. That's it. And we're talking. These aren't like really small stores. Some of these are actually pretty good sized stores. This is all through Comics Pro, so there's some bigger stores in that group.
I just don't understand. You're on the marketing team for Marvel and you want to kill yourself. What do you do with what do you do with that? How do you sell these? Mosaic #1. How do you get people amped for it? I mean, is it all off of?
Right, I don't know.
Civil War II, that whatever cameo that he had, how do you hype people for Mosaic?
The Uncanny Inhumans that he was in. What issue?
Yeah,
11?
that's where they put him in, and that issue
Oh, it
sold out
wasn't Civil War II. It was
that
Uncanny
Inhumans.
Oh,
yeah,
got it. Okay.
and that issue
Whatever,
sold like
same-
crazy, and I sold the variant
No,
covers
no,
for like
no, but on
$150 bucks,
speculation.
and- yeah, on speculation, and the book comes out and it's like, "Meh, no one bought it."
Right.
But
I mean, here's the thing, though. Great Lake Adventures should have been like a 15th tier book, not a #1.
That's what I'm
big
saying.
pusher, right? It doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying is that all of these
It's
as
the,
#1s with no hype, I totally get.
It's
But,
the
releasing these-
it's the what's it called when you go down the aisle by Fry's and you walk by all this little other stuff. So it's the same thing. You buy your cap, you buy your Avengers, and then I might as well get this Great Lake Avengers because I haven't paid yet, and then I'll grab this because it might be funny.
Yeah,
So
but like $4 each.
So this
maybe
week,
not full.
so this week, Marvel had. This is again of no talking of the content, simply sales wise. I noticed something. Me and Brock noticed something when we were putting up the books that Marvel released this week 9 comics featuring female leads. 9 comics with 9 solo comics with female leads.
8 in a team.
8 in a team. You're right.
Yeah.
A-Force, Black Widow, Mighty Thor, Mockingbird, Hellcat, Silk, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman, and Squirrel Girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. 7 of those 9 are our lowest 7 ordered comics this week for Marvel. So of like the 20 books they released, 7 of those 9 are the bottom 7. There's nothing here about the content of these books, because a couple of those, Spider-Woman, Squirrel Girl, those are some of my favorite comics, right? But
Thor is amazing. Thor is amazing.
Thor's amazing. Well, Thor and A-Force are not in the bottom. Thor's one of our highest sellers. A-Force is
floating around the middle because nobody knows what's happening to it. But
it's canceled.
Been canceled.
This is the last issue. It was canceled. Yeah, A-Force is bottom quarter, but it's not bottom 7. This is a disconnect from what customers actually want for Marvel. I'm not saying they don't want female-fronted books, but these books are not. None of these titles are clicking with a large mainstream audience. And you add that now to multiple Deadpool miniseries that are just dying in the weeds. Solo, Great Lake Avengers. And so this isn't just a female thing. This is a shitty character thing.
Well,
right?
line wide. I mean, it's line wide. It's you're taking. You don't have your big characters. Your brands are not there.
So I'm looking at 10 books right off the bat released within a 2-week period where I'm selling fewer than 10 copies of, and in most cases fewer than 5 copies of. That is unsustainable, and I'm selling fewer of those than all the variant covers for Rebirth alone, like individually.
Probably than any variant that
It's crazy.
is worth its.
Yeah. So
variancy.
You're selling more Tim Sale shitty variants and Neil Adams.
Yeah,
Neil Adams are actually inked
You are
decent.
not selling more Neil Adams
I'm
variants.
selling more of the Green Arrow Neil Adams variant than any of those comics I just mentioned.
That is a crime against art and humanity.
His variant covers are actually okay when someone else inks it.
Yeah, when somebody else inks it, it's great.
It looks better. So yeah,
for sure.
this is madness.
Well, I'm just baffled. I mean, it's hard to see I'm not the biggest Marvel lover, but it's hard to see
No.
You took it away from him. You wanted to do it. You were mid swing, weren't you?
I was mid-swing, and Higgins beat me to the punch. Tell us more, Brock. You're not the biggest Marvel lover?
Yeah.
Higgins beat me.
Yeah, no news there. But I want to read Avengers titles, but I have no interest. I want to read X-Men titles, and some of them are good right now, but it doesn't feel like anything substantial.
It's funny you said X-Men, because now that Bryce is here, we also have another thing to talk about. That is Death of X is only 2 issues in, and we already have...
There's a second issue already.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. Resurrection, which is the next Marvel event.
It's pronounced
Resurrection.
It's pronounced erection.
No, it's Where's Your X, son?
And that is the follow-up to IVX, which is happening post Death of X. So we're 3 X-Men crossovers in, and as part of this resurrection of the Marvel Universe, apparently, we have 2 new ongoing books that were announced as of right now. I don't believe they have creative teams.
2 new ongoing what books?
2 new ongoing X-Men books.
Oh, God.
Iceman is getting his own ongoing title.
Please. That's old X-Men. Old Iceman, not young Iceman.
Is Cable the other X-Men book?
No, the other X book is
Wait.
Weapon X, including every single Weapon X character, I think, except for Wolverine.
Oh, well, they did that in the...
Yeah.
What was it, the 2000s?
They've done that a few times. So, no, I'm pretty sure it's just... I'm pretty sure it's...
Iceman solo?
I'm pretty sure it's post-Bendis gay adult Iceman. Yeah. Look,
No.
Iceman's a perfectly fine character.
Post-Bendis...
Gay adult Iceman.
So young Iceman, not adult Iceman.
No, adult Iceman. He's gay, too.
Well, they're both gay now?
I
Yeah.
think that was like left on the bubble.
No,
I think that was like Grant Morrison Beast gay. That was like
No,
I don't
he
think
came
that-
out.
Beast is gay, too?
No, he came out and it was like, oh wait, I guess
No.
I am gay.
What?
No.
Iceman? Yeah.
Beast. Morrison tried to turn Beast gay.
No, there
When
was
they turned him into a lion?
there was one.
Yes, he turned him into a lion and tried to make him gay, and he is not gay to this day.
There was one throwaway line where Beast was like, "My body's going crazy because of these secondary mutations."
Oh my god! If there's ever been a more fucking like Morrison apologist, like you're saying that Morrison,
not that being gay is your body
Jesus
going crazy.
Christ.
That's not what I'm saying. But Beast was like, I am changing. There's all these things. Maybe I'm gay. I don't know.
No.
Like, and then they never. Then they never
Morrison
talk about
has
it
Beast
again.
say, and I think I may be gay.
And they never talk about it again. But Iceman is straight up gay at this point now. Like he.
That's because Morrison likes to make you think. Bendis is just like, cards on the table, motherfucker. Here is how it is.
Yeah.
I'm just going to change 60 years of continuity. All those chicks that Iceman hooked up with, no, he's gay. In case, you know.
Or the time he was roommates with Peter Parker.
Well, that doesn't narrow that down.
Well, no, it makes it interesting.
That really makes that super friend or that Amazing Friends thing weird.
Anyway,
Again, I don't know. Maybe the book would be great, but
all
general.
I'm saying is that adult Iceman, I think, is still Grant Morrison Beast level gay versus.
no, I'm telling you,
Iceman.
he's not.
All right, you're telling me. Well, I'm
It was
just going to
in-
believe you because you've never been wrong.
What? I mean, I'm trying to think what books it was in. It wasn't Uncanny, was it?
No, it's all news what he's in.
No,
The
that's
young
Kid X.
Iceman.
That's a young Iceman.
I mean, he's been in books. He's been in books saying like, you know, I'm still weighing this.
Anyway, gay, straight, adult, kid, it doesn't matter. An Iceman solo book is, unlikely to sell
right.
well.
I'm sorry. I was only talking about the is he gay or is he not gay because I was sort of ignoring the fact that regardless of his sexual orientation, this is going to be a horrific, hot garbage, tire-burning failure of a book.
Right. It doesn't matter. Anything. Again, content is meaningless. An Iceman solo book is...
It might possibly sell less than Solo.
Someone's going to give me a copy of the book for free. I'm going to have an extra copy.
I mean, I'm auto sub to all X books, so I might give you the copy. I might return it and just be like, "Get this out of my."
No. What'll happen is he'll pay you not to order it.
Not to put it in his box. So,
That's a
again...
good business model for Higgins, though.
what am I supposed to do? Like, it's so...
Iceman
first-
Solo, what are you doing?
So
What
the
are you
first
doing?
week, we talked about this. The sales on Champions were okay. All right, it was all right. And that was sort of the question.
Jessica Jones did really
Jessica
good.
Jones did really well, right? And these are sort of the questions of what are the rest of these books going to sell like? Well, we found out week 2 that they're not going to sell for shit. So I now look at every upcoming Marvel #1 as part of this launch, and I'm like, nope, cut to the core. What was one of the other duds that they're coming out with pretty soon? I don't remember what it was. There was some. There's a couple more that are just absolute garbage. Like Cage did very well compared to what I thought it was going to sell. It sold.
Dude, considering... All right, so... And this might just be anecdotal because you happen to have named them just now, but Cage, Jessica Jones, they're doing well. Shocking that they have major, like...
Cage is not a normal Cage comic. Like I don't know if people are going to buy #2. I'll be very curious. And people checked it out, but
It should have been like a cool hardcover.
Yeah, if they did
Like
is
a
it-
one-issue hardcover.
original graphic novel would have been great if they did the whole.
Oh, is that different than the Cage that I read with Hammerhead? Is that a different Cage #1? It's not a reboot with the same team?
No, Cage is a ginger. I can never pronounce the guy's name. The guy that did Samurai Jack and Clone Wars, Jendi
Charlie's Other Man Crushed and Sim Sub.
Terror, blah blah blah. I can't remember how to pronounce the guy's name. I've never been able
Got
to
it.
pronounce
Okay. I
Different
misunderstood. I thought, okay, so was the other title that I was reading, I guess...
The Power Man and Iron Fist.
Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cage is different. Anyway, dude, I am loving the Cage TV show, Luke Cage TV show.
Yeah.
There are times, though, I have to say that it is boring as fuck. Those wire writers are fucking Toby, I'm looking at you. Those wire writers are boring as fuck sometimes. Like, character development, I get it. I love it. You guys, oh man, these characters, they're real life. I feel like they're real life. I just love them so much.
The Wire's the best show of all time.
So, hipster Toby, let me just
The
tell you
Wire's the best show of all time.
that these guys are,
The Wire's the best.
they're doing a great job with this TV show. I legitimately love this TV show, but fuck if some of it isn't just the most boring, like, oh, God. All right, let me go make myself some fucking coffee or tea.
Yeah,
like, you're about to do some character development, and it's going to take 10 minutes, and we're going to have talk. Like, that episode where they have Misty Knight in the interrogation room.
That was slow. I just watched that one. That was pretty slow.
It's like, fuck, that is the slowest, like, and I get it, because it
But
is
honestly,
character
the slow-
development, and I'm not trying to discredit it, but it's like, fuck.
I mean, the slow spot's been in all the shows. I do have a feeling it's like, we got to fill these 13 episodes up. And
No,
here's
none,
like,
none more than Jessica Jones,
Yeah.
and second to none more than this.
Yeah, there were some slow periods.
You were talking about the other book. I think that you were talking about the clone conspiracy thing.
No, that's it. We can go on the TV stuff. I got nothing else. The Clone Conspiracy sold well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that was the other one we were talking about.
It did end up selling well.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
Dan
sure,
Slott
yeah.
was concerned.
I mean, it sold well. Just didn't sell great compared to other books, but it sold well for us. Yeah, for a Spider-Man book.
Okay.
And Death of X sold well too. They both did well.
Are they going to
that
go
was
down in
boring.
history as the greatest Spider and X events of this half decade?
No, they won't. I mean,
Events.
You have to look at like Spider Island, and you look at
Yeah, that's why I said half decade. Like,
right.
I mean,
I'm sold 2 to 3 times as many copies of those books than
of
I did
Spider Island.
of Spider Island and what's it called Spider-Verse than I did of this.
Okay.
It sold well based off current sales of Amazing Spider-Man, but they're the lowest they've ever been in the store.
Mm-hmm.
The X-Men books are the lowest they've ever been in the store for Uncanny X-Men. So Death of X sold fine compared to those numbers.
Is that because this story?
But it sold-
I still haven't, even though I have it in my box at home.
It sold 1/8 of what we sold of AVX #1.
Oh, but that's not fair, though. Like,
X-Men event.
that's fair.
That's probably better to. What about Schism?
That's a better comparison.
Sold less
because
than
that's
Schism.
fucking garbage.
Sold less than Schism #1.
You sold
Yeah.
you sold less than Schism. That hurts my feelings
Yeah.
because Schism was so bad.
Yeah. Probably not less than #2, but less than #1. Because it was only a 2-issue thing, right?
No, Schism was 4 issues.
Was it
Yes.
4?
Yep. Look at Brock School and
So
you.
did I just not read 3 and 4 then?
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
It wouldn't be unlike you.
Yeah.
So
I think you actually cut orders so fast on that you didn't get as many copies of
Probably.
3
I
and
mean,
4.
Schism was so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Schism
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is it just because people just they are trying so laughably hard with the Inhumans? Is it just because people just don't care? Like,
Nobody gives fucks about the Inhumans. Nobody.
that's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
I love the X-Men, and I don't give a fuck about the Inhumans. I want to love the Inhumans because of my Marvel zombiness, but, like,
Well, I love the Inhumans when they're in the Fantastic Four comic.
sure.
They're cool side characters. They're not 9 ongoing book characters.
Well, it'd be okay if they had one title that was Inhumans.
Yeah.
Not
but
Uncanny.
Even then, though, dude, like,
No, if there was an Inhumans book with,
one.
Black Bolt and Medusa
Yeah.
and Lockjaw and Karnak.
I'm just not.
And-
I'm
It's
just,
okay to have the separate Karnak.
No, you just have one book. It's had like 5 issues in like 12 months. You have one comic.
So it's like 1.5, 1 1/3.
Yeah. You have one comic with the Inhumans, with the main Inhumans.
I'm just not sure that
Put
I
them on the
see
blue side of the
them.
moon.
I don't see that carrying a book.
No,
dude.
one book. Fine. With the real characters, not all this bullshit that's going on now.
No,
with the
right, but
Inhumans.
even the royal family, I don't see them carrying a whole book.
Well,
In the 80s or 90s, yes, but like
well,
nowadays,
that early 2000s, was it late 90s, early 2000s? That Paul Jenkins, Jay Lee, and Human series, that was a huge hit when that
Oh,
came
the
out.
Marvel Knights
That
one.
was a
no, but that was
big
super
book.
dark and like that was
yeah.
totally
It was dark.
so. Yeah, but that was so different than what you're talking about.
Bring those guys back. Have Paul Jenkins and Jay
No,
Lee
that
do
was a
another
moment in
Inhumans.
time. Like you can't redo Marvel. They can't do Marvel Knights now.
They should.
Yeah.
No, what you
should
mean
do
to say is that they
something.
should replicate that success, but that wouldn't like they can't do that now again.
I know. Marvel Animal. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
DC bites off Marvel, not the other way around.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, Marvel could already use Animal because technically it's owned by Disney.
What?
Muppets, Animal.
I get
Huh?
it.
Oh.
Muppet,
Muppet?
Animal.
Okay. Now, there should be a Muppets crossover. Maybe that would help something.
Muppets with ex-babies.
You and Brock need enough reason to
I would
diminish
buy that in a
Marvel's
heartbeat.
sales
By
charts.
Scotty Young.
Oh,
I would
the
buy-
Muppets.
I would buy a Muppets X Babies comic.
Yeah.
I would buy that.
By
yeah.
Scotty Young on top of it.
Muppet Babies and X Babies. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, don't lie. He'd buy any Scotty Young comic.
almost.
Or maybe
almost.
I'm
I
looking
calm
at him
down.
and talking about you.
Well, we got
I
we got a ton of questions here, but before we move on to that,
ton.
we got to talk
Tintin
about
questions.
We got to talk about
Tintin and Stroopy.
Legends of Tomorrow
Yeah.
and Supergirl premieres from last week. Because boy howdy, Bryce shut this back off. Who saw these?
Did you just say boy howdy?
boy howdy? Yeah, because boy howdy.
Yeah.
I'll signal to you guys when we're done. No spoilers. Yeah, we got a new door. It's pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah.
It's a little more substantial.
Yeah. So, Toby, what do you think of Supergirl Season 1? Overall, did you like it?
What,
Or-
season 1?
Season 1,
I
yeah.
never finished it.
Oh, really?
No, it wasn't my cup of tea.
What do you think of the premiere of Season 2?
It was still not my cup of tea.
Really?
Yeah, but it was better cup of tea than the season 1 was. Does that make any sense?
Sure.
Okay. Let me rephrase. The things I do not like about Supergirl season 1 seems to be the things that they're phasing out in the first 2 episodes of Supergirl.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
I'm actually looking forward to what else they have in store. So I'm actually more excited now for it than I was before.
Okay.
And it's not a knock on it. It's just not my cup of tea. It was just like, look, it's a little too cheesy for me. The whole corporation Catgo thing is just really not my cup of tea. Like, really, really not my thing. I can't stand it. And it's still around, but I feel like, did we go spoilers?
Yeah, sure.
With James or the new Jimmy taking over, I think that dynamic is going to be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's what's her name, Clarissa, the cat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fans of hers. I understand that, and there's, like I said, I'm sorry for you guys, but I'm actually really looking to the James Olsen run Catgo company version of it. Other than that, like I said, there's a little, Supergirl is like one step above Smallville, but not by much for me. But I'm rooting for the show. But I think we're going to talk about Superman here.
Well, yeah. So I haven't seen the second episode yet, so I don't know how I'm there yet. But
And going back, I am backtracking while I'm watching season 2. I'm also backtracking season 1 at this point.
I thought the premiere of Season 2 was top 3 superhero TV show episodes of all time.
Really?
It was near perfect. It just felt so right. They updated some stuff. I know that because they changed where the shooting, so they're changing sets. They're changing stuff around. But man, the Superman stuff in there was just perfect.
I dug the Superman stuff a lot.
She continues to be great.
Yeah.
I like the.
No, I think she's been doing a great job all around.
Yeah, I like that they're updating her role in Catco. They're actually making her a reporter. I just all the stuff with Metallo at the very end of the episode. So I haven't seen the second part yet, so I don't know how it resolves. But
You still haven't seen the second? You knew we were going to talk about
it
the
just
second.
aired last night.
Yeah, but you knew we were going to talk about it.
No, I just want to talk about the premiere, but you can talk about the second episode. I don't care. But
Yeah.
I just absolutely love the premiere. If you liked the first season at all, I think this episode blows it out of the water. I
I don't share your enthusiasm, but I did really, really like Superman in this.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
The little winks he does, and just that he's more positive, more happy. I dig it.
Yeah.
Now, it's a little Christopher Reeve, which is the Superman I grew up with, and this is the Superman I love.
Well, they straight up reference the Superman movie.
Yeah. But this is not to take away from the modern Superman. While Zack Snyder made some mistakes, I do like what they did with the Man of Steel stuff too. So I actually kind of like both. If that makes sense.
Sure. I like them both for different reasons.
Yeah. So, but it's really nice to see this positive. I mean, when Supergirl was kind of like wait, this might have been last night's episode when they were like doing the Bankais and she was like being jolly and she kind of like hipped or like jumped over to Superman. I thought that was uber cute. I was like, that's like really making her like the little cousin of Superman thing work really well. So I thought that was really great.
But I also felt like they didn't make her play like a distant second fiddle to Superman.
No,
like,
they should have never done that anyways.
Right,
so
right.
I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah, no, they did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see where they go with this.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily.
I'm sad to see Tyler go already, though.
Well, he's coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if they need a fifth show, I'm just saying, bookended Superman at the end, and they could do some good stuff. I mean, his Clark is perfect. The back and forth with him and Lois and Perry on the phone was just perfect. They probably don't want to start casting those roles yet, but I would love to see more of them because they did such a good job.
Yeah. No, I was thoroughly surprised. I don't share your enthusiasm that high.
Yeah.
I feel like Arrow and Flash were a bit better. And I don't know why.
Arrow's been so solid this season so far. These first two episodes have been great.
But yeah, no, Tyler was really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
Yep.
And what's his the toy man? What's his name?
Yeah.
He is kind of like the real Jimmy Olsen now.
Yeah.
Like he's the
All right. Well, you saw that James Olsen is going to be Guardian. They're making
really?
him Guardian. Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah. Yep.
The one that Diggle is supposed to be for all this time?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So James is really not James Olsen anymore. He's not Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but they're bringing in Cadmus. Guardian is part of Cadmus.
This is wouldn't it have been cool if they didn't kill the skinny what's her name from Suicide Squad? The black lady.
Oh, Amanda Waller?
Yeah.
The one from Arrow?
In Arrow, wouldn't it be great if they didn't kill off skinny Amanda Waller and she was running Cadmus and Supergirl?
Well, I mean, Cadmus has always been a different thing. The Cadmus has always been sort of.
But Amanda Waller's been dabbling over there.
Yeah, but normally Cadmus is part of the lead into like. God, I'm blanking on what the heck is called. Well, like eventually.
The Checkmate stuff?
No.
Maxwell Lord stuff?
Kinda, like more recently Maxwell Lord. I mean, eventually it gets to Darkseid, but Cadmus is involved with a lot of sort of like super like evil super science stuff.
Yeah.
And some good super science. And Superboy.
Yeah.
The modern Kal-El or Mon-El comes out as Cadmus.
Who do you think that Kryptonian is?
What's Mon-El? They've already said.
Really?
Yeah, he's not Kryptonian.
Who's Mon-El?
Mon-El from Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they are really doing the Legion.
Yeah, that's Mon-El. I'm so fucking excited.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
that is kind of cool.
I'm really curious.
Okay, that is kind of cool.
Because I don't think he's woken up or anything, right? I mean...
No, I think you should watch the second episode.
Does he wake up at the end or something? Yeah.
Well,
so
I just think you should watch the second episode.
Yeah. No, they're going to do something with the Legion, so...
Yeah. But no, I'm thoroughly happy with what they did with the show. It just... let it grow on me. It probably will.
Yeah.
And as I catch up on all the other episodes, it'll probably mean a lot more to me, too. Yeah.
So we also had the premiere of Legends of Tomorrow, and man, there's another show that I think just had a killer first episode.
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase. The Legends, honestly, like, again... All these CW superhero shows, I love the cast. I absolutely love the cast. I love the writers. I love everybody that's involved in it. So please don't take this negatively when I talk badly of the show. But they lost me on Legends a bit, about halfway through mid-season, first season, right? And then the end was kind of cool. And I was like, I really was not looking forward to this season. Yeah. And I actually didn't even realize that the first episode premiered until people were talking about it. And I kind of whatever. And then I finally watched it. And when I watched it, it's like, kind of same old bullshit, I'm like, not feeling this, with the little laser guns or the little fucking pew-pew shit going on, right? But I kind of like Stephen Amell in it. That was kind of like a nice touch. Yeah. And I really, really like that the time detective guy.
He's all right. They kind of shove him in very quickly, but
but I kind of liked him, though. Yeah. I like the feel of him. And the episode went all right. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting stuff going on, but still kind of same old, Legends BS. Then the fucking end happens. And holy shit, man. It's like comic book ending galore, like Jeff Johns style, like you get to the last page, you're like, oh, what the fuck? Well, I need to watch next episode.
I really think that this is sort of a let's transition
Yeah.
in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, both, I feel like the first two Supergirl episodes were transitional episodes.
Yeah.
And I feel like this first episode of Legends is transitional. And I'm really excited to see where both of these shows are going now.
Yeah, I think had this been in the first season, it would have been like 6 episodes of the season. Instead, the team gets lost and then found in the same episode. And you're like, oh, part of me is like, oh, I'd love to see a whole episode of the Atom flying around with dinosaurs. But would you?
No, that would make it drag on really long.
Yeah, I think it's actually just kind of a cool, like, oh, he had this adventure, and, well, we don't really need to find out more about it.
It's kind of funny because Dollhouse, when it got canned, or when they announced it was going to get canned, they kind of speed-forced the entire second season up.
Yeah.
And I could tell, like, certain storylines, when they did in, like, 1 or 2 episodes, I'm like, I think those were meant to be whole season arcs for that. And I'm like, and I was really glad that was not a whole season.
Did you watch Hannibal?
No.
They compressed 2 seasons into 1, and you can tell.
Some of the stuff is planned. Now, for Dollhouse, I feel like it really worked because it's really sped up the slowness of the show.
Well, with Hannibal, I mean, Hannibal is about the slowness of the show and just the tense nature of that show. And so you would have these episodes where you're like, oh, that's a major thing, and it's only halfway through the season. Oh, because this was supposed to be like the whole season.
Okay.
But, man, if Supergirl and Legends... I liked, and in Supergirl I really liked towards the end of the first season, but they both have taken it to a next level with these premieres. And Arrow is firing on all cylinders. Flash has been great. So
actually, I hope Ragman sticks around.
Yeah, he's cool.
Like he's the most interesting guy on that.
Yep.
If he's sticking around on that 2.0 team, he's the most interesting one of them, all of them. I really hope he sticks around. But back to Legends and its ending. Holy shit! Can we talk about the ending, please?
Of course.
The team up between the bad people.
Right, so first we have Justice Society, which we knew were coming.
No, that's the second ending.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
The first ending. Well, we could do Justice Society first.
Well, Justice Society, and that's big.
Yeah,
right? So
it's Jeff Johns galore.
It's the Jeff Johns modern JSA, but in the past.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Is that Vixen's mom then?
Someone, Vixen's something. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, someone else that has the amulet, I think.
I see.
I don't think she's related, But John's a Stargirl is in there.
Yeah.
As well as...
I was stoked seeing that, man.
Yeah.
I was super stoked. Especially, knowing Jeff Johns. Well, I don't know him. You know him better. Just the fact that he gets to put this little stamp on it that this is happening is really, really great. Yeah. But the other one, now you knew because you pay attention to comic book news.
I didn't know that it was going to happen. Like they're going to start teasing it out.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. Yeah.
I had no fucking idea going into it. So we have Neil McDonough in a submarine. And the bad guy goes, "Oh, your partner is not here." He goes, "So you think?" And then they see the fucking flashlight running around. I'm like, "Holy fuck!" And I was like, "It's Zoom, but it's not. It's Ebot Fun." I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, Reverse Flash. Yeah, so we're also getting Malcolm Merlin and Lotus Snart. So Captain Cold.
That's gonna be so cool.
They're both gonna be the Legion of Doom, basically.
That is so cool. I don't know why they've done bad guys team ups before, but I'm so excited for this team up.
But it's kind of like it's a Flash and Arrow villain, so it's team ups from 2 different shows on a third team ups from 2 shows on a third show.
I'm so stoked, man. I am so stoked in this now.
Very excited. Yeah, great ending.
Plus, I really want Captain Cold back.
Oh yeah. Well, he's going to be back. He's going to be kind of like we talked about this a few times. They're signing a few people to
multiple shows.
Yeah, so like they're going to appear in all sorts of different things. So
I think that's awesome. I mean, that's really. I mean, I keep going back to Hercules Cena. I love the way they shared the characters in those shows.
Yeah.
But now we have like 4 shows that are sharing characters. Yeah. It's bloody awesome. Yeah. Such a good time to be a nerd.
That crossover is going to be sooner than we think.
Oh, really?
I can't wait for that. I think it's this year, right?
Oh.
I think it's before.
Really?
I think it's before
Christmas.
I think.
Wow.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was before Christmas. I thought it was real early.
If I was only 10 years younger, this would be great because then I wouldn't feel so bad about watching so much TV.
Oh, I don't care. That's all I do. All right, let's get.
Should we get the fellas back in?
Get them back in there. I'm going to read some questions.
All right. Hello.
You can come back in now.
You come back in.
We had a couple questions from Stefano.
And then this thing happened?
We answered most of them.
I agree with you that Marvel is better than DC.
Yeah, your mic's off. We had a couple comments.
Questions.
We had a couple comments from Stefano, which we kind of answered. He did want to say that he caught up on Aquaman 1 through 7, and he's really liking the current Aquaman series, which I agree. I really like the current Aquaman series.
Yeah, no, current Aquaman's it's not as great as the John stuff, but it is solid.
Yeah.
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Was the John's Aquaman really that good, or was it just like John's and so you guys are on his dick? Like,
No, it was really
The first arc.
I mean, by the way, I read the first couple issues. I didn't read the whole arc, but I read the first 2 or 3 issues.
So-
and like it was good, but like, I mean,
I'm like
are we just on John's jock? Like,
I'm like 60-40 on Aquaman. I liked everything, but I didn't care about literally the others. See, he created this team called the Others.
Right, yeah.
I didn't really care for those
Yeah, me neither.
characters at all.
Yeah, me neither.
No,
Yeah, the Aquaman and the other series was okay, but it
I mean, just those characters, even within the Aquaman comic,
Yeah.
I didn't care for.
Well, and
the
the
deep stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
The Justice League crossover is really good. It was like 60-40.
The back half had a couple hits and misses, but I mean, overall, I mean,
It started really
strong, and then it was good for the most part. The,
Yeah.
the current stuff is good.
Yeah.
who's writing it now?
Abnett.
Yeah, Dan Abnett.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Traitor.
Yeah, he's doing that in Titans for DC.
God damn it.
Well, what's funny is for a long time, his stuff by himself just wasn't up to par with the stuff when he was pairing up with Lanning.
Yeah, but I think it's
But
better now.
I think he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah. Mitchell asks,
Hey, Mitch.
any of you reading Doom Patrol?
That's not the same voice you normally use.
Hey, Mitch.
There you go.
Any of you reading Doom Patrol? So what do you think? It looks interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But I like it.
I read issue 1. It was
Yeah, it's
weird.
really weird. But I think it's worth.
not as
checking out.
weird as Shade the Changing Girl, though.
Shade made a lot more sense the second time I read it.
So you read that thing twice?
Yeah, I made like the first time it was like, huh? But when I read it the second time, it clicked a lot better with me. I thought it was a cool first issue. Yeah, I mean, Cave Carson comes out this week. I'm super excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend Indy Gator's got a birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Wait, are we breaking copyright?
You can stop
yeah,
that
we
now.
gotta
You
pay
can
lots
stop
of
that
money
now.
for this.
Do we?
Yeah, we gotta get lots of Patreon
I
money.
already
He just got
think
back from
that-
Disney World too.
I
so.
think that first
jealous.
line was all we owed him.
Yeah.
He's
As much harmony as he's gonna get.
and Toby,
from
you're
us.
going to want to pay attention to this. He says, Ragman on Arrow! Exclamation point. Ragman is really awesome on Arrow. Any chance this jumpstarts a book for him? I love that character.
He is cool. I really, really like Ragman.
God, you guys are the worst. You've never, ever once, ever. I've said it plenty, but you guys have never said, fuck, this show wishes it was Batman.
No?
No.
Oh, Arrow?
It's
Of
always
course.
been
It's always
pretend
wants to be
Batman.
Batman.
No,
Yeah.
I know. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm saying that wishfully thinking.
Why
I
is
know
Ragman
that
a
it
real
does.
character in Batman? I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I actually didn't know.
Yeah, he's a Gotham. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Same origin?
Dude,
Or similar?
Yeah.
you... More the clue should have been that he was on Arrow, so you must have assumed that he was a Batman
Oh, true,
character.
because he's been stealing all the Batman characters anyways.
They're going to bring in
Yes.
Creeper this season, and they're going to bring in,
that's
like...
exactly what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Teasing me with the Outsiders.
Oh, I love Creeper.
Arrow's new friend,
Creeper's
Robin.
not on the, Creeper's not on the Outsiders?
Yeah, it was.
Creeper?
Creeper was on the Outsiders for a little while.
For like a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, I have no recollection of Creeper being on the Outsiders.
Oh, Higgins
But-
called shenanigans.
But again, like I was just bitching about 19 characters at Marvel that don't need a book. Ragman doesn't need his own comic. It'd be great if he showed up like in
No,
the Green
Ragman's
Arrow.
getting his own comic.
No, he
No,
wants.
no.
He's asking if.
But he's fucking cool in Arrow, though.
He's asking if. I mean, Ragman had a mini a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He's a cool character,
Well,
but
he was in. Wasn't he in 52?
Come on.
yeah, maybe.
Get out of here, Craig.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, said nobody. Ragman. Go away, Ragman. Boo.
I mean, I could see a Ragman mini.
No, get out of here, Ragman.
They've had a couple, and they just. I mean, throw him in Batman. Throw him in Green Arrow.
Craig, I know you're walking your dog. Go. Your dog just pooped. Go pick up your poop. Go pick up your poop.
Oh, and you should if you're not reading Batman and you like lots of obscure DC characters, you should read Batman that comes out this week because Tom King and Mikhail Hanine, right? I can never pronounce his name right.
You can't pronounce names. We know this.
He has a lot of really great cameos of obscure DC characters.
Apparently,
this week in Batman.
This Batman starts 3 different stories or 3 different things that are going to happen.
Oh, there's a direct callback to the Rebirth one shot.
Oh, wow.
A character that appeared in the Rebirth one shot on this.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is he still holding his breath from being underwater?
Huh?
From the Batman Rebirth one shot?
Oh, what? No. What? No. Rebirth. Like DC Rebirth.
Oh, not the Batman Rebirth.
Yeah, no, there's a direct reference to... there's a scene with one of the characters that was in Rebirth. So, very excited. Killing 'em softly. What a great name. Says,
softly.
Is Marvel trolling us with this resurrection shit? Yeah, probably.
No, it's resurrect.
That's all I got.
Son.
That's all I got.
Oh, God. Marvel's the worst. No.
You're not even done with your beer.
No. Oh, God, I have so much more work to do. I'm actually really behind.
Justin.
No, Marvel is still better than DC. Don't let anybody, mistake it. I just have, recently had a harder time having examples of why.
How sloshed do you have to be to read Marvel right now?
God, I don't know. The same exact amount of slosh that your parents must have been.
Oh! Justin asks, I really want to like All-Star Batman, but I am not. What are your guys' thoughts on the series?
The story's really good. It's hard to look at.
Jock's doing the art in the second arc, so that should be amazing.
Fuck, thank God.
Yeah, it's a weird arc. Snyder does whatever Snyder does. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt on the first arc because I'll see where it ends. Obviously, what he did in the main Batman series went in crazy directions. We just don't know because we're getting these sort of like cryptic views of the future, and then a past where Batman's fighting like his rogues gallery. So we're like, how do these two connect? I like the first two. I haven't read 3 yet.
The thing is like with a writer like Snyder and a writer like Johns and all that. When Romita Jr.'s come in and draw on their stuff, you lose that little nuanced stuff that you would get from Ivan Rice doing it, or Ethan Van Sciver doing it, or somebody, or Greg Capullo doing it. Like they had such attention to detail that you would be enveloped in the panels.
It
here
would
it's
feel
just
different.
Here it's just like, all right, there's shit happening. A good example was the Superman arc with Johns. Where that
with
Oz
John
guy
Romita Jr.
with John Romita Jr. artwork, and that Oz guy's in it, but it's something you just look the fuck over because you don't care about paying attention.
Yeah. Steven says, anything announced you guys think would start a rebound for Marvel, or they just see them stagnating in the 2017? I don't know.
We're bringing
Nothing
back.
Yet.
We're canceling all our titles again, and we're actually bringing back the characters that you know and love.
Dude, I don't even know if that would save them. I don't know.
It's bizarre.
There's got to be some path there. Like, maybe something...
I mean, part of me is thinking this. Good on Marvel for trying to broaden the readership, to reach new readers, to try new characters, to see what's out there.
Yep.
The problem is, it's not working.
Well, they don't have... We talked about this. They don't have their base. They don't have their Batman title or their strong Justice League title.
Cut it to your 10%.
No.
Cut the 15%. Have the rest of your books be normal. Have your quote-unquote experimental outreach line, whatever you want to call it. Get people in that way. But the sales aren't there, guys.
It's crazy, and there's no way to talk about this without sounding like Donald Trump. But, like... I mean, with 50% of the titles being like female books, like most of the female books, I'm just not going to be interested in reading, and it's a tricky thing to talk about. Like, I guess I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in.
You're not going to be grabbing those books, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not going to be grabbing those books.
You really wanted to say it, didn't you?
Trying to find a way to make it.
I mean, normally I grab them like this. Anyway. So
you flip the book over and then grab it upside down?
I specifically didn't describe it on air. So anyway, yeah, I think the most obvious path for success, if I'm trying to think of what the fuck they do, is leaning more on the properties, like the Netflix properties, like Cage and Jessica Jones seem to be successful. Maybe they create, their own new version of Marvel Knights somehow around those.
Marvel Netflix!
But Marvel...
That's a book line.
You're welcome, Marvel. Toby Sidler, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the thing. There's nothing...
New Marvel Knights is called Marvel Netflix.
Well, here's the thing. There's nothing that stops Marvel from publishing 100 books a month.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
They could have 60 books. They could publish exactly what they're publishing now and 30 more books that are your traditional characters. Why not? It hasn't stopped them in the past.
Dude, I just think that the bigger problem is the lack of quality storytellers. Not lack of as in they don't have any, but lack of in that, no, they basically lost the ball. Right, in the arms war, if you will, between the bad guys in Marvel. They're fucking. Who do they have? The best book, and we'll talk about this in the end of the year episode. But okay, so spoiler alert, it's Vision. And they lost Tom King. They never had all the talent that DC has, and so who do they have at Marvel that I can brush my shoulders off at? Brian Michael Bendis? What the fuck? And
Well, I'll say this: I've been enjoying Bendis's books more because they're single characters, not team books.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you talking about? Every Bendis book is the same group of characters: Miles Morales, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. It's all the same characters.
Mighty Avengers.
Yeah, it's his characters all appear in all his own books.
Well,
right.
I think what it is we need to get back. You need to get back to an Avengers book that's solid. You need to get back to X-Men that's just Uncanny and X-Men. You need to get. Somehow you need to bring the fuck back Fantastic Four and make them relevant again.
No. I disagree with that. Everybody's saying bring back the Fantastic Four. I say fuck them. Fucking put them on ice until...
Well, it's not bring back the Fantastic Four. It's bring back Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Uncanny X-Men, Incredible Hulk, Invincible Iron Man.
Okay.
Bring back
fair
your
enough. I still want them to
books.
put Fantastic Four on ice until Fox gets their head out of their ass and just gives them back. Which I do honestly think is better served by Marvel not having Fantastic Four books. I'm fine with them not having Fantastic Four books as long as it leads to Fantastic Four as a brand suffering in any attempt for them to give it up and realize that it's not worth their fucking pedantic behavior to hold on to it. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I see DC. I don't know. Other than Tom King, I'm not really. I'm an idiot. I don't know who DC has gotten recently, but I do know. I'm trying to look at okay, who's the new exciting talent writing wise that has been telling good stories that is new at Marvel? And I mean, there's literally nobody. I mean, all the good books, and I'm not saying Marvel doesn't have good books, because unlike the rest of the team here, I think that Marvel does have some good books, but I'm looking at the most prolific are Mark Waid, Brian Michael Bendis, and Dan Slott, and they're all writing books that have by large opinions,
Jeff Lemire
stagnated.
They have Jeff Lemire, they have Jason Aaron, they also have
Jason Aaron is.
They also have Nick
the best
Spencer.
Of the bunch, though.
They have some really
Nick
good
Spencer,
talent.
Dude, I feel like he's. I mean, talk about stagnated. I feel, they put him on a book that needs to be, socially clever, or else, I mean, they're never going to put him on Civil War 3.
Well, I don't need Nick Spencer on those titles. Nick Spencer is your Ant-Man guy. He's your weird character guy. He's the guy that you give and say, hey, let's make something work with this.
Okay.
So another book that sells 15,000 copies.
Basically.
One or two titles of Marvel's X number of titles that they need to do, done by Nick Spencer. Okay, Nick Spencer, you've covered your one or two titles. I mean, they need more than that.
No, I know.
And I'm not saying that that DC has fucking 52 great writers, because they certainly fucking do not. But I am saying that oh my god. I also think, and this, I don't, again, not to be a broken record, I don't want to sound like Donald Trump, but I feel like there's a lot of push towards, books.
Well, like I said earlier, I think we can all agree. We're fine that these books exist. Some of them are really good. Some of them aren't. But that aside, it can't be the bulk of the line it is now.
It's not sustainable.
Less eloquently.
Can't be all of it.
Yeah, can't even be a bulk.
So I worked here on Saturday, which means I read a little bit of book sometimes. I'll work too. Sorry, I work. But I read Champions. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked
pretty
it.
decent-
I mean, I kind of figured it was kind of my cup of tea. I just think for the characters, I'm like, you know what? Since I'm here, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
I dug it completely. Like, I dug the art, dug the characters. I think the interactions between them is really, really well done.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun first issue.
And yeah, it should have just been new Warriors. Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to next issue, and I haven't been excited about a Marvel book like this in a good while.
I do appreciate them trying to move away from the Avengers like brand to try to make Champions relevant.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what they're trying to do. Because you're right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's no reason that this wasn't New Avengers.
Yeah.
Like,
Or new Warriors.
or New Avengers.
Or new Warriors.
No, the setup in Champions #1, like I said this the other week, it's 100% the first issue
Yeah.
of New Warriors.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the
identical.
same. It's the same setup, just with these
It's
characters.
just modernized, and with these characters.
Sure.
So we got a few more questions here. Let's get one here from Cameron. It says, Deadpool Back in Black, good or great? Terrible. It's a Deadpool comic. Anyone? Another Deadpool miniseries. People seem to really like it, but it's a Deadpool book, so I don't read it.
Wait. So Deadpool Back in Black, do you just not order any shelf copies?
And we sold out of the first one.
So
it's
first,
Deadpool in
why
like
would you not love this?
it's Deadpool in a black costume, so it's...
Wait. Why is it Back in Black? He
it's a
didn't start out
miniseries.
as black.
Who knows? It's Deadpool. Who cares? It's Deadpool.
Well, even our Deadpool numbers are down.
Oh, way
Right
down.
now.
By the way,
Way
I
down.
liked Deadpool's
Lowest ever.
X Civil War II crossover story. I still find Deadpool funny.
Yeah.
I'm still just annoyed that they turned Deadpool from a fucking badass mercenary into a laughing stock.
Yeah.
So Back in Black, I didn't know anything about it. That sounds awesome. You should do better marketing for your comic books.
What's the one that came out this week?
Too soon?
Too soon?
Yeah. Deadpool and a bunch of joke characters from Marvel all teaming up, so...
A bunch of joke characters from Marvel?
So like,
with,
half the universe.
with Deadpool?
You heard about... Were you here? You heard about Deadpool the Duck? Did we talk about this? Were you here when we
did.
heard about that?
We
Okay.
did.
Okay. It just got this preview. The solicitations that came out this morning as the first issue solicited.
It's just the worst.
Another winner.
Wait, didn't I say that? Deadpool
What's that?
Duck?
It got announced a few weeks ago. Deadpool
Oh,
the Duck.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. You should be omitted from talking like that. The shit like that makes so much money for you, and you don't have to lift a finger, and then
What?
it goes away, and then
This miniseries?
yeah.
Yeah, I sold my 10 copies, and
I mean, dude, you
I don't
sell
look
your 10
back.
copies, exactly, and you
Yeah.
don't look back.
Yeah,
So
sure.
the vitriol's not right because
I have no vitriol. I just don't.
You're never angry, but
I'm not a Deadpool fan.
you're
It's
always
just not
so
my-
dismissive. But it's you fucking do nothing, and these books sell it's guaranteed money for you, and then it goes away. And
But
you
not
don't have to,
always. Not always. The last couple Deadpool miniseries sold abysmally poor.
Like Spider-Man Deadpool started really strong, and then the second you order the reprints to restock
our
it,
numbers
it went,
our numbers on Deadpool.
No, but dude,
Spider-Man Deadpool and the
Spider-Man
miniseries
Deadpool
have
and the variants with
plummeted.
number one, that makes up for any future sales that you purchase. Or what's the word for not sales? The books that you purchase.
Sure.
So I mean, dude, come on.
But every issue
You
have
hate
to-
on Deadpool, but it's free money for you. So what's
It's not free money. I buy these comics, but it's every issue is. I pay for these books. You realize that, right?
Yeah, but you're being an ass.
How much? What do you mean?
It's guaranteed money for you.
No, it's not. What is guaranteed? This Back in Black series?
How much more, if you had to randomly guess, how much more money has Deadpool made for you than costed you? Costed you? I think it's cost you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I mean, clearly Deadpool has been a profitable character for me. Yeah, it's not free money. I mean, where Deadpool is right now, we used to sell 50, 60 copies of Deadpool. We're down to 10 copies of the main series now.
Okay,
the
but-
miniseries are at 5 or 6 copies. That is bad. I have to sell every copy to really make any sort of profit. It's a tiny one.
Okay, what I'm saying is that there are a lot of comics that you have to actually think about, how many do I buy versus how many I will sell.
Yeah.
Whereas Deadpool, you've had the luxury over the past decade.
But it's
because
not.
of the industry.
But it's not. Those numbers have. That's what I said. The last couple issues of Deadpool, we're stuck with about a third of our order because everyone abandoned Deadpool in the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I've never seen sales fall like this for a title. especially a book like Deadpool, which had generally very consistent sales.
I've seen it before in sports trading cards.
Is the Deadpool market finally?
No, it's the
off?
same thing. They over-diluted it.
Yeah,
they had so many damn Deadpool titles that they over-diluted. Everybody's just tired of it.
There was the Max one. There was the regular one.
When we first had that huge expansion of Deadpool, the numbers all cut in half, and then it kind of cooled off. But it was one title, and they maintained that number. And then now that they're doing expanding out again, it's cut in half again. And it'll cool down, but it's never going to go back up. It's maintaining that number. So, 50 became 25, became 15, became 10, and what I'm selling at Deadpool. As they every time they bulk out, the numbers fall, but they never go back up when
exactly
they
what happened
contract.
to sports cards.
Yeah.
Fleer Ultra, Fleer fucking Gold, Fleer Flossy shit,
right.
Fleer, and then that's just Fleer when we start on Upper Deck and Tops.
Right. No, when they expand out these lines, this is always what happens.
Well, I mean, you have how many Avengers books? You have how many X-Men books? It's...
But Avengers and X-Men books, they have different feels. They're different characters.
Yeah.
Deadpool books are Deadpool, and we basically had 2 Deadpool ongoings for years now. Or we actually had 3, because they've had the Deadpool book, the mini, and then they've occasionally had other stuff like that mercs with mouth.
Okay, all I was saying is that you've been very, you love to hate on Deadpool, which is fair because he's a fucking joke now, but he's been good to you.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
But what have you done for me lately? All these characters...
Fuck you, Wade Wilson.
No.
What have you done for me? You literally sound like my boss, who literally said that to me yesterday.
Books mean nothing to me when they stop selling. It doesn't matter what they sold 10 years ago, because I've already spent that money. I'm looking at what a book is making for me now. I mean, right? If a book... If all of a sudden the Batman book suddenly died off and I was selling 10 copies of Batman, I'd be like, well, fuck you, Batman. It's pointless, right?
Yeah.
And there are characters that have had these ups and downs. We've had...
Yeah, I mean, you have these constant ups and downs, and the thing is with a character like Deadpool, but, I mean, Harley Quinn's numbers are even down.
Yeah, well, Harley's down a little bit. You go back a couple of years. I sold 200 copies of the Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness Hulk #1 issue, right? Ridiculous amounts of books. By the time that series ended, I was selling 6 copies.
That's the fucking not the same thing, bro.
What do you mean?
I mean, Deadpool has been a cash cow for you for a fucking decade.
No, not compared to some of these other characters.
Dude, Deadpool, past decade, is definitely in your top 10.
No.
Yes.
No. Top 10. Marvel, maybe at points, but not consecutively. Not for more than maybe an issue #1 or a reboot or a crossover. I mean, if we go back this year, our top books are Vision, Old Man Logan, Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Deadpool, briefly, but not anymore. The first couple issues, it was really high, but then it went down really low.
Civil War.
I mean, obviously Civil War. Uncanny X-Men for a little bit, but that's really cooled off.
Doctor Strange started.
Doctor Strange, right? Did I say Thor? Did I say Mighty Thor? Mighty Thor's on that list. Doctor Strange is still on that list for sure. Deadpool, at this point, Deadpool is selling the same amount as Squirrel Girl is selling for us.
Don't you fucking dare.
Books outselling Deadpool right now. A-Force, Ant-Man.
Wait. A-Force is outselling Deadpool?
Yep. New Avengers, Uncanny Avengers. I'm looking at my wall here. Black Panther, Black Widow, Cade.
Wait. Black Panther's outselling Deadpool?
Yeah.
Actually, Black Panther, I sold quite a few in Saturday. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people reading that.
Isn't that issue 2? Didn't that just relaunch?
It's only issue
The first
6 or
trade is
7
already
now.
out.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Keep trying, Bryce. Keep trying.
Deadpool is in my bottom 25% of comics I sell right now from Marvel. Both Cap books, Champions.
All right. I guess all I'm trying to say. So apparently I'm wrong. All I'm trying to say is that
Deadpool has sold well in the past.
So
sure.
many fucking splinter stories. He's made you a whole lot more money than he's cost you.
Well, right. All these characters have, hopefully.
Right, but Deadpool more than most is my
Otherwise, we wouldn't
argument.
be sitting
and
here.
That's where you disagree or don't.
I do. I disagree.
Next question.
Wow.
Next question here. We got one from Cisco. He says,
Cisco Ramon.
Young Animal having sales or readership success in your store? It looks like lukewarm sales despite good critical response. And what do you think they could do for the Hanna-Barbera line and Young Animal line to get Rebirth-like sales? I mean, that's, I think, to start, not true, because Doom Patrol number 1 is the only one we have sales chart, and Info 400 is the number 19 book of the month. That's incredible. The rest of the books are doing okay. I mean, Wacky Raceland for September is 169 at 11,000 copies. I mean, that's pretty low. Scooby's still in the top 100. We sell a disproportionate amount of Flintstones compared to most stores because I've been pushing the hell out of that book.
We have a hard on for it.
But it's still 100. It's still selling 14,000 copies nationally. That's way more copies than a real Flintstones comic would ever have sold in modern day. So I think these books are doing all right. But they're not going to be rebirths now. And neither will the Young Animal stuff because they're not Batman. They're not Justice League. That's why they won't sell. They'll never sell those numbers, or rarely. But Doom Patrol did really well. So, and we sold out. I ordered second prints. It was one of our top orders for the month, and we sold out. So it's doing well for us. And a lot of subscribers. I have more subscribers for Doom Patrol than I sell of Deadpool.
Oh, well, that's because it's new.
Question from Justin. What ongoing Rebirth title do you guys think DC will cancel first?
Not Nightwing.
Me and Brock know the answer to that.
New Superman.
New Superman. It's going to be New Superman.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cyborg apparently with the January solicitations have fallen to once a month, which is why was that twice a month anyway?
I sold a New Superman to a dude that's going to China on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I sold a hell of a lot of copies of number 1. Very few number 2s comparatively. It's our lowest selling Rebirth book by quite a margin.
I mean, other titles that I can see getting chopped is Blue Beetle, Cyborg. Blue Beetle, Cyborg.
Yeah, Blue Beetle's a tough call. Cyborg's a bit of a tough one. Hellblazer traditionally is not
a big one.
The modern Hellblazer is not traditionally had the best
Batman
sales.
Beyond will find its amount and just stick there.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
Deathstroke, they'll stop it and restart it at some point.
Deathstroke sales would be a little rough. Maybe Birds of Prey. I don't know. I think it's been doing
Red
okay.
Hood and the Outlaws might get.
This series has been miles
Much
ahead
better,
miles ahead of the first two. I'm okay. You know how good it is? I'm buying it. That's how good it is. It's so much better than the last two. So but most of the Rebirth titles they're big characters. They're not going to cancel Superman or Nightwing or Justice League or Flash. So, I mean, it's New Superman will be the first to go, no question. Let's see. Travis asked some questions, but they're kind of all about Resurrection and all that. Yeah. Well, why did Marvel, as from Travis over at Current Comics, says, why did Marvel not learn from last year and again let a big event not finish till months after number 1s come out that spoil the end? So we already have post Civil War II issues launched the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude, Travis, it's crazy.
And Civil War II is not over till December at the earliest. I 100% am convinced Civil War II will slip to January because why not?
Well, we have a gentleman's bet going that the Justice League Suicide Squad crossover with DC will finish before Civil War II
finishes in January. What's the end of January? We'll see. But Bryce?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Travis, I've as the biggest Marvel apologist on this fucking podcast, I have no excuse.
I think you're the only apologist on this podcast.
Well, Charlie loves everything. So
he's not really an apologist, though. He just loves everything.
So he apologizes for everything. I don't know. It's been it's hard out here for a pimp, Travis.
And one last question here from Lester. He says, where are the Fantastic Four in the current Marvel Universe? Reed Richards and Sue Storm are literally the gods of Marvel.
Yes, I would love to answer that question. For those of you interested in Marvel Comics, that means A, that you have good taste, and B, that you might want to learn more about where good Marvel books are coming from. So the answer is the Ultimates comic book, which is very random. But if you've read the first arc of the Ultimates comic, it not only includes an issue of Galactus punching cosmic beings in the face, which is fucking awesome, but it also involves a little shot of how Thanos is even in the fucking Marvel Universe to be involved with Civil War II, which is awesome. But B also includes a little shot of the Fantastic Four and, how they are in this nether space, sort of creating universes or creating worlds, or I'm not really sure, but but it
So they're in a lab looking at petri dishes.
God damn it! No, whoever said that? No, what? God, no.
We're laughing at you, Brock. We're not laughing with you.
So anyway, the Fantastic Four are
of all the parts of Secret War, the ending with the FF was the best part. It was incredible.
Yeah, so I agree with that. And if you want sort of a continuation of that, read the first arc of Ultimates, because that's going to also be brought up, if not on my top list for Marvel Comics for the year. But Ultimates was really great. Especially I've only read the first arc was great, and does indeed involve some punching action with Galactus, which you don't get a lot, but also shows the Fantastic Four and a little bit of what they've been up to. I'm not going to try to sell that that's what it's going to give a whole download on them, but it's nice to see them and that they're still alive and kicking and doing what they do.
Yeah, the end of Secret Wars, you had Reed Richards, Sue Storm, and
Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin Richards are, and with the we just talked about this. Are the Future Foundation there with them?
Yeah.
The kids there with them?
Yeah.
That they are above reality, individually creating every multiverse in the Marvel universe, and they're keeping them very busy till they decide to bring them back. So that is,
and Thing is in Guardians and Human Torches
in human stuff. Yeah,
because he's dating Medusa. Right.
I'm gonna sneeze here.
Yes.
Let's see how much of this outro I can get through without sneezing.
Or
Thank
before
you.
Bryce gets back.
Thank you, everyone, for being on this wonderful podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this wonderful podcast. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. Before we do, we have to thank some great friends of ours on Patreon. Patreon.com/comicconspiracies, where you can go to give us some money for this podcast if you like it, as little as $1 a month. And you can get your name right on this podcast. It's you can talk to us on Patreon. Very few people do. But you can send us questions on there. And if you want to pimp something with some higher dollar amounts here, we have a good friend, Albert Soy. She's got an app on iTunes called Plant Everywhere. Make sure you check that out. Julian Titus has the Nerds Without Pants podcast.
No pants!
There it is. At Pixelbit.
Rated in Ryan's face.
Well, yeah, that's kind of loud. Pixelbit.com.
No
Julian
pants.
Titus. Ryan Hess has the Preach Podcast at soundcloud.com/preachpodcast. Search for all these guys on Twitter, too. They're all on there. Jody Lesson is Ken in the Triad Comics Anthology at TriadComicStudios.com. Give those books a read. Manoa Place, Sam Shea, and Talon Bray. They are also some of our other high tier backers. So thank you guys very, very much for all your support. And for everyone else that donates, thank you very much as well. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com, Geekbox.net, and iTunes. That's where you can find this podcast. Go look it up and give us good reviews. We always like it. The Comic Conspiracy, Geekbox.net, or that contact form at Geekbox.net is where you can send us some email if you want. We also do Twitter questions Tuesday nights on my Twitter, Ryan Higgins Ryan. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy once again, so we can go donate some money to us. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz, that's our digital storefront where we do all our great digital sales. You can pick up stuff there.
They're due for a decent one soon.
Yeah, they usually do like Black Friday stuff, big Black Friday sales. Yeah. It's connected to your Amazon and Comixology account, so same account gets access to all that stuff. You can read it on your iPad, your phone, your computer, wherever you read your digital comics. Pick them up through us. Yeah, we get a nice little cut. ConspiratorBrock.com, that's Brock's blog and video pull list. Check that out. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast.
I'll claim it.
Toby was standing behind me. I saw him in my...
I think you were talking about the Patreon only thing that Toby and Charlie are doing.
Yeah. So we're gonna get hopefully a new episode of the Roundup pretty soon. Toby and Charlie's little TV and movie talk for normal movies and TV, not this nerd shit we talk about. Etsy.com.
There'll be plenty of nerd shit coming.
Good. Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hillard. That's Leanne, my wonderful wife. That's her Etsy store. You can buy some art from her there.
What was the last one she did?
She did the Haunted Mansion Donald Duck, mashup thing. Yeah, we talked about that a while ago, and it turned out really good. We're all on Twitter. Ryan Higgins Ryan, that's me. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce is Larsen Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. The store is Comics Con Store. Check out the Geek Box if you're curious about PSVR. I talk about my experience this week with it. Justin and Alice talk about it as well. I didn't have the best experience. I apparently have a Frank Quitely-like bulbous head that cannot properly use PSVR.
This is not true.
Was
this from the Geekbox episode?
Yeah, it went up today. Give it a listen. Yeah, but I am actually.
I'm
giving it one more go. I'm going to hold on to the PSVR, and on Thursday, my day off, I'm going to
glue it to your head.
Set up. I'm not going to dick around. I'm going to set this up like it should be set up. Because I tried to set up like I would play a game. Which is like, no, it wants you to like clear a room, put it somewhere specific, measure out how far you are from it.
That's
like,
bullshit.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to play this like I'm going to play it, right?
That's accurate.
So I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to I'll move my stuff around in my living room. I'm going to do this. I'm going to
wait.
The most optimal setup to see if it works.
I'm just wondering. I just want to know what Penny and Nico are going to do when they stare at you moving the living room around.
My dogs don't care. They don't care about anything. They've seen all sorts of wacky stuff.
Wait. I just don't understand. So, like, you need to change your life for the game?
I'm going to try it to see if I have
It's
a
already
better...
happened. Have you heard of Pokemon Go?
If I have a better experience, yeah. Most of it involves me just having my head crushed like a vice inside this thing and it not laying on my head properly, and I can't figure out what the deal is. And I've tried all the buttons and all the things. And
I was really looking forward to listening to this episode and hearing you eating crow about VR is never going to happen, but apparently that doesn't occur.
Everyone else in the world is like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, doesn't work for me.
How is everybody else not like, this is the iPhone 1 of this shit?
Well, it will be in retrospect, but the reviews and the consumers, like at the kind of like the day one adopters are like, nope, this is the greatest thing that's ever existed.
Well, they also dropped a lot
changes
of money
everything.
for it.
Well,
Yeah,
have there been any like crazy good games out for it?
There was like 20-something games at launch for it. There's a lot. I mean, but a lot of them are like experiences. There's not like big quote-unquote games.
Oh, dude.
But
if you guys are looking for experiences, go and you're interested, I can recommend the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition last year. They had a VR for, I used Google Cardboard. I'm not sure like what else that is compatible with, but I highly recommend the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition with Google VR. Only in the capacity that you're interested in VR. If you like girls in swimsuits, that's just a benefit. So anyway, that was a pro in the VR war that Higgins is waging on society.
I'm not waging anymore. I said on the Geekbox.
Anybody that tried the Ghostbusters game in New York?
No, I heard about it, but I
can't wait to try that though.
No, I said on the Geekbox, I was like top 3 Christmas morning excited when I was unplugging this, when I was setting this thing up, and by the end I was the maddest I've ever been at something, and then the saddest I've ever been.
You just described my experience with Suicide Squad.
Because it didn't work for me.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, listen to that shit on Geekbox. Comedy Button, Good Job Brain, I'll Talk Podcast, and Manga Machinations. They talk about this stuff too, I'm sure.
Can I have a plug?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so my son is collecting box tops for education.
That's something kids do?
Yeah, that's something kids do. So if you're
Is that
around,
still something kids do?
The fuck
Yeah,
is
they
a
do.
box top?
It's just if you look on like the box, like Honey Nut Cheerios or in a Ziploc bag or some like.
If you don't open the box, you have a box top.
Yeah,
Which I always open the box because I want to eat the fucking cereal.
But it's so there's these box tops. So if you collect them, mail them to Comics Conspiracy at 115A East Fremont Avenue, Sunnyvale, California 94087.
And I will throw them in the trash because they'll be like, "Why are people mailing me this shit?"
No, address them to my son Brody.
Mail
BRODY.
accepted.
It'd be like the fucking waffles.
Recycling bin inserted.
But it'll help his school get some money. So I'm trying to get a lot of it for him. So.
Yeah, you would have not been a kid here, Toby. So yeah,
I'm still puzzled what this is.
on the top
It's
of
Are
the
you
the
collecting
it's
trash?
the stupidest thing ever. They're like these, and not just this school, but like lots of places collect box tops, like the cereal box. If you were to take an X-Acto knife and cut out the top of the box,
But so they're collecting trash.
yes.
Like, what do they do with this box top?
No.
Not only are they collecting trash, but you like it's.
Are they going to
it's
recycle at least?
Difficult, if not impossible, once you open the fucking box.
Don't a lot of
to
them
eat
just
the
have
cereal.
just have the code?
Yeah, it's a little picture.
right.
It's a small thing you cut out. It has an expiration date on it.
What it is the
Look.
Okay, we're gonna end this podcast. Goodbye.